So hey everyone, this is Nabil Khan, and in this video we are going to create a simple landing page using HTML and CSS. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So now I had created one folder, and in this folder I had one background image, logo, and HTML and CSS file. So now I had linked the HTML CSS file and I had given CSS reset. So now let's create a div.banner, and in this div I will give the CSS dot banner, and I'll give the weight as 100% and height as 100 VH, and I'll give the background image, and I'll give linear gradient RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.75 and RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.75, and I'll give the URL and background.jpg, and I'll give the background size as cover and background position as center, and I'll start live server. So you can see the background is set, and then I'll give the logo.png, and I'll give UL and li and a, and first as home, and I'll replicate this, and then I'll give bedroom, living room, dining room, and kitchen. So now I'll give styling to this logo and this navigation bar. Before this I'll create a div.navbar, and in this I'll paste this navigation bar, and then I'll give the CSS.navbar, and in this navbar I'll give the weight as 85%, margin as auto, and padding as 35 pixels and 0, and display flex, align item center, and justify content space between. So you can see our logo is set, and I want to set this on the left corner. So dot logo, and I'll give the width as 150 pixels, and I'll give the margin top as 20 pixels. I'll give the margin left as 20 pixels, and I'll give the class as logo. So now you can see I want to set this navigation bar. So navbar ul and li. So I'll give list style as none, and display as inline block, and I'll give margin as 0 and 20 pixels, and then I'll give ul, li and a. I'll give text decoration as none, and color as white. You can see our color is white. So now I had set the logo in the navigation bar, and I'll give padding as 25. So you can see our navigation bar is on the right side. So now I'll set navbar ul, li and after, and I'll say content as blank, and height as 3 pixel and width is 100%, and background is, I'll give the color code, and then I'll give position as absolute, and left is 0 and bottom as 0. So now I'll give this position as relative. You can see the width is 100%. So I'll give the hover effect. I'll set width as 0%, and then I'll copy this, and then I'll paste, and I'll give the hover effect, hover, and I'll set the width as 100%, and I'll give the transition as 0.5 seconds. So now you can see our transition set. So now I will write the main content, the content which will be on the center of the website. So I'll say div.content, and then I'll give one h1. I'll say design your house, and then I'll give a paragraph. I'll say subscribe my channel to watch more videos, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. So now the text is set, and I'll give the CSS as say .content h1. I'll give text align as center and color as white, and margin top as 20 pixels. So now you can see it is on the center. I'll say same thing I'll apply in paragraph. I'll give the margin top as 40 pixels, so you can see it is on the center, and I'll give the font size as 20 pixels, and I'll give font size as 30 pixels. So I'll increase the font size of h1. I'll give 50 pixels. So now I'll create a div, and I'll add the button, and I'll give the type as button, and I'll name this button as watch more, and I'll create another button, and I'll name this button as subscribe, and then I'll style this button .button, and padding as 15 pixel and 0, weight as 200 pixel and text line center, and margin as 20 pixel and 10 pixel, and I'll give border radius as 25 pixel, and I'll give border 2 pixel solid, and this color code. And then I'll give the cursor pointer, so you can see the buttons are on the left side. Go to center, so I'll remove this dot because I had not given the class. Go to center these buttons. I'll target the class .button, and then I'll give the display as flex, and align items center, and justify content center. So our buttons are centered, and I'll give the top margin as 25 pixel. So now it's done. Our website is ready.